Welcome to Automate Your Agency. Every week, we bring you expert insights, practical tips, and success stories that will help you streamline your business operations and boost your growth. Let's get started on your journey to more efficient and scalable operations. All right, Micah, this comes up a lot because, I do a lot of traveling and speaking on AI and automation. And a lot of conversations when I'm not on stage and I'm off the stage are around the idea of, is AI really going to take my job? And so I wanted us to talk through that concept, but then also talk about it's not going to take all jobs. We still need humans. We're the creative, strategic ones. And so where does AI fit in? What kind of jobs, could be replaced by AI and AI agents, but where humans still fit in?
Yeah. All right. So it is going to take some jobs, you're saying.
I think so. And through human history in the last 100 years, tech has been replacing jobs. We don't have phone operators and party lines anymore for our phones. We have cell phones that we can just pick up and even FaceTime on. And so we do have this history as tech improves that some jobs do get replaced, new jobs get created, and it's a more of an emphasis on humans having the time for creative strategic.
Yeah. This is a interesting and difficult conversation to imagine and talk about because we are heavily invested in AI. And honestly, like full transparency, there was a lot of internal discussions between us on do we want to support this AI route, especially in the beginning.
Mhm.
I think ultimately what we got to is can we do it responsibly? Can we build AI solutions? Can we help train other companies on how to leverage AI that actually empowers their teams?
Mhm.
And that was really important to us going into this.
Yeah, there's so many companies that have such an emphasis on human relationships that they felt like if we use AI and automation, that's going to remove our human connection. And I see it as the exact opposite. That if we're able to use AI and automation to help alleviate the things behind the scenes, the tedious work that we're doing, work that still has to get done, but that's time consuming, that's tedious, that could be done by a machine, actually helps us have more time to have the human connection.
Yeah, I agree. I think ultimately that's what we came to as we started looking at how do we implement this technology? What are AI agents? How do they actually work? Where are their weaknesses? And, really just looking at it as if an entire role is copying and pasting content from one system to another. We've talked about this before.
Mhm.
That is very likely going away.
Yeah.
If that's your skill set, copying and pasting, or if that's your job, that's going away. Now there's obviously going to be tertiary things for that. We're talking about, B2B companies and specifically white collar teams like that, remote or in office. We see supermarket checkout lanes.
Mhm.
That's going to self checkout. That's not AI yet, but the technology is going to get there. I
Yeah,
even
we're
have this
gonna.
whole like vision forecast in my head where the way that we interact with a computer today is also going to go away. That it's going to be conversations like you and I are having. We're already starting to see the beginning of it. I know this is off topic a little bit, but it's interesting to go down the path that we can have a chat with Claude or ChatGPT and it can produce an asset. And then we don't edit that asset through an interface. We go back to Claude or ChatGPT and say, can you make this button blue? Can you move it to the top? Can you remove this section in the outline? We're not editing that. And so imagine our entire computer interface or our human computer interaction is a sequence of conversations and asks. That's where I think it's all going. I don't know how
Mhm.
long it'll take to get there, but Star Trek called it.
Yeah, it did. But Micah, what you're saying too is the perfect example of where humans still fit in. We
Yes.
still have the expertise of what we want. And AI is there to help support us to get there faster. I mean, what we're able to program now in development with AI, it's so fast, so empowering to a team too, because they can get to an end result faster. And that's specific to development. But we see that with anything, with content creation, course creation, anything where we're using these AI agents, that it's like, oh my gosh, that feels so nice to have that done. And I get to be the one that really is the expertise on this level.
So I totally agree with where you're going with that. I want to put a pin in that for 1 second and go back to the statement that you just made, which is we know what we want. I would actually argue that humans know what other humans want even
Mm,
more than we
mm,
know what we want. And that's the biggest value, especially when it comes to business. And AI is going to guess. It's not going to know the relationships. It's not going to know the individual clients, the customers, the audience, all of that stuff. It can provide ideas and suggestions today,
mhm.
but a human has to be in that loop to say, cool idea. Well, what if we were to do this? What if we were to do that? What about this? Let me give you some more context and see what other ideas you come up with. It's like the perfect know it all by your side, but you're not going to generally say, you're a know it all. You know everything. Cool. You just do everything and I'll just watch.
Right. And there is this false positive that you can get to from AI. That we were talking about this the other day. Great idea. Let me help you with that. You know, it's always telling you it's a great idea, even though it may not really be a great idea. You might be convoluting the whole purpose of what you're trying to get to, but AI is going to help you still cultivate what you're trying to do. And so it may,
Yes.
sometimes give you that, oh man, I am smart. I am so good. And you're losing your value along the way because you're getting this positive impact or positive
I don't,
response.
I can't remember what the personality type is for the people pleaser type of person, but 100% that's who Claude is. Like, no matter what you say, oh, absolutely right. Actually,
Yeah.
yes.
We see that often, which still it's still there to provide support, and you definitely want to keep doing that, but just keeping that in mind and having the human piece along the way too, where it's giving you an output and you're the one suggesting a new version of it because you do have the ideas. You are the
Yep.
expert.
Yeah. So let's circle back. Is it going to eliminate some roles? Yes. Is it going to eliminate jobs? Arguably, those jobs were filler. That might really hurt some people's feelings,
Mhm.
but those jobs were part of the machine to get to the end result. If the machine can fill that, we're still looking for people that provide valuable insights on all the stuff. A machine is not going to be able to do sales as well as a human because it's the human to human interaction. There's still that uncanny valley. So, Elaine, the movie Labyrinth
Yes,
is from 84, I think.
think so.
There's a
Something like that.
CGI owl in the beginning that looks like crap. But then for most of the movie, it is all non CGI stuff. Watching it recently, I realized, holy shit, this is amazing. Like, this looks better. And it really got me thinking about things that when we see something that's real filmed, and then we couple that with CGI stuff, like a lot of the Marvel movies, there still is, as fun as they are and as action packed as they are, there's still that uncanny valley. There's still that unease. There's still that we know that's not real. They're
Mhm.
not moving correctly. The fur doesn't look right. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's not totally real. And I feel like there's that sense that we have with AI generated content, with AI interactions, with AI chatbots. I think at this point, we've all interacted with the customer service chatbots who just do not effing get what we want them to, what we're trying to ask. And so, you know, all of that leads to whether it's operationally driven AI agents A lot of the conversations that we end up with are, does the technology exist to automate everything? Potentially, yes. Will that completely destroy your business? Potentially, yes. And so how do you decide what's enough? And it really is getting it to the point where AI can provide context, ideas, and having it so that humans aren't starting with this blank page. They're not starting from the beginning. They're not starting from scratch. They're going, wait, I know what I'm trying to shoot for. Ooh, never
Mhm.
thought of that. Never thought of that. Let me apply these ideas. And then either going back through AI or taking that and seeing it through the rest of the way.
I mean, one of my favorite ways to answer a question on a call whenever we're talking about capabilities of AI and AI agents is when they're like, well, we have all of this information in documents. Can the AI agent pull from that instead of just going out into the abyss? Yes. Yes, it can. And it's so exciting. And they get so excited listening to that because AI isn't taking whatever it wants from the AI world. It actually can use their expertise and have a chatbot, have it triage email, have it do, whatever the need is and have it from their expertise, those resources they already have available. But the key part is, outside of just they can use their information, is they don't have to be the ones to go and look that up. The
Mm.
resources there and available, and the AI agent can go and do that and much quicker than any human can. And it's already your information. So, does that take anything away from you going and looking it up? No, it just gave you those minutes back of looking for it that an AI agent could take care of it and respond.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it from that context, think about how many different things you could change operationally if all of your company knowledge was accessible in seconds without having to train people for months to learn step by steps, to learn SOPs, to learn how to reply. Whatever it is a here's what you need in seconds versus, okay, let me figure out what email thread that was at. Where did we save this? How do we chat with this? A lot of stuff that we've chatted through on this podcast over the last year has been systemizing and standardization. That
Mhm.
still definitely applies.
Yeah. And when the AI agent is a part of this process, I love the consistency piece because it's going to be consistent the way that it responds every time. Whereas if you get different people in the mix, what they go and find and look up, how they respond is all going to be different depending on which team member. If you don't already have this process templated or something like that, where you don't have that same level of consistency where that AI agent is going to execute the same way every time. And if you want to change it, you just tell the AI agent how to change it.
So let's bring this back to jobs because I think it's really interesting. Is it going to affect things? 100%. Is it going to affect things negatively? In some scenarios, quite possibly. Is it going to affect things positively? That's also a yes,
Hmm.
because I can't even tell you how many leaders we've worked with, spoken to, had conversations with that are doing things throughout their day that just absorbs their time,
Hmm.
looking things up, starting from scratch, doing the what we would call busy work.
Hmm.
They're hired because they have knowledge in a certain subject area or skill set. That's the value. And this even ties into like human personality types. What do you like doing? When you're doing something that you like doing because it aligns with your personality type, you enjoy your work more.
Hmm.
When you're doing things that you don't like doing, you don't like your job as much.
Right.
And the most simple example of that is strategic work versus repetitive work. I cannot do repetitive work. I love strategic work.
Hmm.
There's also the high level versus detailed type of people. So AI is supporting all of those things to eliminate for specific roles that busy work or that work that doesn't isn't compatible with people's personalities so that they can do better work with what they're really skilled at.
Yeah. Beautifully said, Micah.
Wow, thanks. Okay, so So, for our listeners, as you're thinking about where AI fits in, I think there's a couple of things that really come into play. One is you can't ignore AI.
Mhm.
It's here to stay. Two, you 100% cannot ignore AI agents. It's allowing businesses and teams to be far more productive and effective than ever before. The companies that are using that are the ones that are going to excel. Hands down, we've already entered this era. Don't ignore it. So then you're left with, how do I apply this into my business?
Mhm.
It's not a fear factor thing. It's not a scary thing. It is, this is the new way business is happening. I need to get on this train. And so start looking at, where does the busy work exist? That is the easiest place in your business, even if you don't have any processes diagrammed out and all pretty. Just, where is the busy work? Start there. Start envisioning what that organization and what the operations of your business might look like if that busy work was taken care of by an AI agent.
And Micah and I are launching a mastermind on being able to think about these concepts, implement them in your organization. So if you're interested in joining our mastermind, shoot us a note and we'll get you on the wait list.